written a class in Python and where someone might mess up your data, like for instance setting the image dimension with minus or maybe salary to zero. So in this video we are going to fix this cleanly, safely and professionally using encapsulation magic of the property decorator. And let's make our Python code smarter, cleaner, and more secure without making it, let's see, harder to read. So, what is the encapsulation indeed? Encapsulation means hiding the internal details of the class and only exposing what's necessary. So imagine you are opening the TV. You would like to open the TV. So what you should do is just open pressing the button of the in the remote, and it will open, change the channels, reduce or maybe increase that sound. You didn't open it up and check the circuits in the TV boards. You just only use this remote to interact with this TV. So this is somehow called encapsulation. And as you can see here, it's the goal of the encapsulation is prevent external access to sensitive parts of your data and provide control access through these methods. And let's say, for instance, in Python, which is I will see it's not, let's say, like restricted like in any other language. Let's say, for instance, C++ or Java. And here we can see public. If you name it like this without any, just self dot account number, for instance, and this will be accessible with the class and even with the inherited one. And you can also access this in the outside the class after creating the object. And if you see, for instance, if you add this underscore one underscore, it's this one is protected internal use and for the subclasses. And if you add two underscores, it's a private. But as I said in the beginning, these are not, let's say, restricted. Even if after you see rename, I mean naming this self dot underscore underscore pin, this will be accessible even in the main, which is I will say it's a weakness of the Python. In C++, it's not allowed to access any private members. But this is I already showed this in the previous in one of the videos. I think in the introduction of the uh, classes and object-oriented programming. So let's see here basic classes without encapsulation. As you can see here, I have this class person. It has a name and also age. And during the initialization, I have say this is the name of Ali, and it has, I mean, his age is 20. But now, if I change this to -5, it shouldn't be allowed, right? But in this case here, for instance, in this example, it will change the age into 5. Let's just double check, which is, let's say, not logic. You can see it's -5. Now let's see, try to see encapsulation using getter and setter with the old style. It's like, let's see, C++ and Java. For instance, for each in a C++, for each variable, you have to define two functions: set, I mean get and set, or set and get. It's the same. And the set it will set the value into the variable, for instance, name or age, and for instance here in age, because this one here is protected. And the get value, it will return the value in the get. So it's like I'm interacting with just only set and get the value of the member of the variable class, of the class of variables. And as you can see here, it's like now the C++, or let's see Java, if you have set and get. But in the Python, for the Python, we can use probability decorator, which is modern and clean. And let's see here, for instance, I have age, just adding this probability before the function itself. And let's say I call this age, and this age will try to get to set, let's say get age. It's only a probability. It will just only read only. And for the setter, we have to add the age itself, and I mean the property name, and dot setter. This will set the value, and this will set the this will get the value. And let's just compare between this and this. Here I have two different classes, two different functions, get and set. But here I have only function. You can see the same function, age and age. But this one property is read only. It will return the value, and this will set the value. And in here, I have added the, let's see, the validation, which is, if you see now, a dot page dot age, sorry, let's see, 25 minus 25, which has to give you an error. You can see age can't be negative. Why? Because we have this value error here in this setter function. And you can see here, if I see object.age, it will return the value of age. And if I see, sorry, if I see p or the object.age is equal any value, this will call directly the setter function. For instance, this one here. And the read only property, it's just adding a read only property like this without any setter or deleter. There's also a deleter. And sorry, and you can see here radius. I have the radius and here area. So if I define the circle with 5, it will see the radius is 5. And now when I see radius, let's see, just object c dot radius, it will give you the radius or area. But here now, let's see if I change this and try to change the value of theta, I mean to the area, it will give you this error here. You can see area of circle object has no theta. So because we have only read only. And for that, you will see if your variables, for instance, if you already initialize an image size, and for any reason, someone will change the size of the image in the, I mean, after the initialization. For instance, here you can, reduce, change it whatever you want, but the area and also the radius, it hasn't to be changed because already, let's see, radius and area here. We have, let's see if we can change the radius. We also can't change the radius because it's only a set, right? And this is how to protect your data. So now why we need to use encapsulation. Protect the internal state. It won't be it won't change any value or any, let's say, sensitive information. It will just protect this validate input before setting the values. So as you can see in this value, in this example here, when you try to set a value of age, it will try to check or validate the values. If it's greater than less than 0, it will give you an error or exception. Of course, for the same for the image, if you have initialized the images with negative, let's say, attributes, for instance, width and height and channels, this will, it has to give you an exceptions. And read only or read only logic, maintainability and clean, let's see, API. It's indeed, it's a clean API. As we have seen here, If you have age, we have age here. But for the previous one in encapsulation with uh, C++ like style, it we have to add two functions. Now, a common mistakes is forgetting to prefix attribute with. So if you define this one here, and you can see here, it's not. You have to make this as a private to get this working radius. See, let's see, radius of circle has no setter, but if you just return this one to the previous one, then you have to get. So this is a common mistake, forgetting the prefix attributes with protected or private, defining a setter without getter. You have to, when you define the set, you have to find to define the get. For example, here, if you see this one here, if you define this, you have to define this property here. And sometimes you see returning self inside the properties. For instance, returning the radius, for instance, like this. This will be uh, I would say infinitive, let's say, calling, and it might be overwhelm of the memory, and also allowing invalid. Let me just return this back, and allowing invalid values sometimes without, let's see, if you have, let's see, negative age, zero salary, or by let's see image dimensions is minus. And let's see, have a look in this image processor. So I have a private data, let's see, private attributes, data name created at and modified at. Let's see, for instance, in the beginning it's not modified anyway. But when we have, let's see, where's the the changing of modified at, if we have updated the time. So let's just back to this modified. It's just returning, and it's when you update, let's say, modified time, or maybe when you let's see, change any, let's say you have an image and you resize the image, and we have to add this, for instance, modified add this one like here, but I haven't, I just forgot to add this function. Okay, so as you can see here, I have defined property name just to get the name of the image. Maybe we need to have a setter, but be just careful. If you have a setter, you have to add a getter. And here I have a data, I have the width, height, and when you call this, you just need to create an object, and you can see object dot width or height. It will give you the exact number of width and height. And here you don't need to change the width and height of this image because it's already fixed in the data itself. And for instance, get statistic, it's a normal function. Now, as a summary, encapsulation is protect your data and provide a control access through well-defined interfaces. So the data, it won't be accessed only on the function you the well-defined, and let's see, you define, and access convention using, for instance, name, public, protected, and private. But as I said in the beginning, it's not, let's say, restricted like a C++. And when to use, yeah, this one here, property decorator versus regular method. Access set simple values. performing a complex operations. If you have only, let's see, for example, here we have set and get. You can see set with set, yeah. For example, set and get name. If that is, yeah. For instance, I just forgot. If you change the name, you have to change the the time, and the time it will call this function to give you the current date time, the current date time, yeah. And if the function is only small, simple value, simple, let's say operations, you can use a decorator. If it's a complex and you have, let's say, optimized algorithm, or I don't know, any, let's say, big function, you have to use normal methods. Computing derived values, taking multiple parameters. This only taking one value, and this the methods, the normal methods, it has several parameters. Validating a single inputs have side effects, having side effects. I mean, you can let's see, validating multiple inputs, but if you validate multiple inputs, it will the function will be increasing, and maybe let's see, hard to read or understand. And let's see the final tips. Sing start simple, begin with a simple basic operations, and add complex as you need. Document, use the doc string, because here sometimes I just forgot to add some doc string. No, it's here, you can see you have to use this to just show you what is the function is doing. And let's see, you have to also consider the performance caching expensive computation when appropriate. So sometimes the caching itself, for example, here, it's like a caching, and maybe you have in this function here as a big data, let's say, and 10 images, or maybe more than 10 images. So in this case, you will have extensive memory. And I think that's it for today. But and here's to test yourself, for instance, what does the property in Python? It's turn methods into an attribute. And yeah, that's it. And if you have any question, just drop it down in the comment below. I will answer it, of course. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.